Not blue, dear. Red.
Oh, it's no good.
Now, don't chicken out.
But, Aunt Mary, I don't feel up to giving that kid's party tomorrow.
Sluggish. Headachy. Sounds like irregularity.
Today's show, we're going to be talking about a few different topics. First and foremost, what I'm most excited about is Minolta 16. This is a spy camera. I'm going to be talking about that in a few minutes. What I call 35 millimeter plastics. They are reloadable or one-time use 35 millimeter cameras. They're hot, John.
Hot.
They're red hot.
The hottest thing in plastic and film right now.
Yeah.
Revealing who the latest FPPPers are.
Oh, there's new ones.
These are new film photography project philanthropers.
Philanthropers.
Is that a made-up word?
Yes. Well, a variation on the theme.
These folks support us and are driving me to do more, if that's even possible.
You spend every day here, Mike. What more could you do?
It's what I do.
It's what you do. It's who you are. It's not what you do. It's who you are, man.
We have some letters.
Yes.
And then later on, much later on in the show, we're going to save it for last because by that time you could either tune out or just go do something else. I'm very thrilled that we've been getting more hits on our YouTube channel, more subscribes, more likes. So I started this a few years ago. I started encoding. When I say encoding, taking old videotape, or in the case of film, scanning. So projects that John Fedele and I... Oh, did I say my name is Michael Raso? I don't think so. I'm Michael Raso.
And I'm John Fedele.
Yes. So John and I have been working together since in or around, should I even say?
82?
No. 1984.
84?
But it really kicked in a little bit later once we started, collaborating in our collage projects. That's college for you folks.
Who don't speak stoops.
So I encoded... after college, I got a job at Comcast as a commercial producer.
Which was huge, because we had all that equipment at our disposal.
So I got the job. I applied for the job in like 1987. I didn't get the job. Like a whole year went by. I forgot about it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Then one day I just got the call, and I went over there and I interviewed. And many of the people at Comcast also went to William Patterson, which is a college in Wayne, New Jersey.
Who did you interview with? Gary Shin?
Gary and Bernie Hayes.
Bernie.
Yeah. Smooth operator.
Yes. He was like, I don't know. He was like the cool college professor.
Yes. Who would like sit on his desk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember in William Patterson, there was a guy, his name was John Catapano.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a room, an equipment room with a half door.
Yeah.
And he'd be on the other side of the half door. And when you're a student and you want, to create, that person that is in charge of that room that has all the equipment is like a god.
Yeah.
So, as a matter of fact, I got the job from Comcast because of John Catapano.
Is that right?
Yes, I did.
I didn't know that connection.
So I would go into school, no different than my life is right now, at like 7 o'clock. I'd be like at the communications building at William Patterson at 7 o'clock, and I would check gear out, and I created a checklist, like everything you need to have. I mean, because if you're going to go out and shoot a commercial or a piece, whether it's film or video, you need a camera, you need this, you need the Johnson cable.
Got to make sure you're not missing anything.
Because if you are on your shoot and you're missing that one cable,
you're effed.
So I used to do all this extracurricular, like just check stuff out and test stuff and, hey, John, can I borrow this? I just want to go out and cheat this.
You were teacher's pet, is what you were.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I was like...
Bootlicker.
Yeah.
So this chain is ultimately what led to what I was going to talk about later, which was John and I producing a monthly cable variety show.
That nearly killed us, producing it.
So it was called Meadowlands Showcase because the Comcast I worked was in the Meadowlands, and it was a showcase for new artists. So the initial concept was it was a showcase for new artists that John and I would shoot, and then John and I would shoot in between little skits, or bumpers, as they call them. This first aired, and it aired in the, at first in the Meadowlands area. I would call up every single cable company in the whole tri-state area to try to bicycle the tapes to other areas of the tri-state area, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey.
You'd have to make dupes of the show and then physically deliver the copies of the show to these different cable systems.
So later on, we're going to talk about the first show in this series.
What show?
Which the subtitle of Meadowlands Showcase was The New Music Show, which was John and I were going to, basically find local bands and produce their music videos, put them on the show.
What show? And then we were all going to make it big.
I don't know if that was all about being... I think...
We're going to hitch our tail to an artist who is then going to use us to make all of their music
videos. Folks, here's the advice of the month. There's no hitching tail to any other artist. You have to be your own thing.
Exactly.
You have to be your own original, because early on, there's no hitching. Because those other artists that you think you're going to hitch to, they got their own thing going on.
Remember Mikey, what was his name? Mikey C? Confusion?
That was in... So the show was New Music Show, and we did 6 of them.
Oh, we did 6 new music shows.
6 of them. And this evening, on this very show, at the end, you could go over to YouTube if you're listening to this on an audio platform, you can see this, whatever it is, that John and I tried to put together.
It's a new music show.
Thank you. It's a new music show. It is.
And who's on the new music show?
Oh. Well, we're going to talk about that later.
Okay.
Oh, you want to talk about it now? I can tell you what's on that new music show. Well, I think it's going to be of interest to listeners. John's band called Salad Days was on the first show, and we
made a music video specifically for the show. What show?
Yeah. I think the amazing thing about that music video was that it was edited together on analog tape using analog machines with one effects piece called a Fairlight.
Really?
Yes.
That wasn't a toaster. That was pre-toaster days.
And that must have took us weeks.
It did. It took us forever. Oh, my God.
So it's called Wasted Days of Youth.
But that was nothing compared to the Vero video.
The Vero video was a hair band from the 1980s, and they were from the Lodi area. Their song was The Best of Me.
Got the best of me.
Yes. And then already in the can was Limit, which was the house band at the 440 Club, which was a...
That's where you hung out.
It was like the watering hole in North Arlington, New Jersey that I hung out. Anyhow, we have a lot of film to talk about on this show.
Yeah.
What show?
Where do you want to start?
Well, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll...
talk about Millimeter.
Yeah, we'll talk about Millimeter.
Your buddy is gonna be you against me. You know that for sure. And I'm gonna get you. Come on, come on, boy. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Hey, we're back. I think the first thing we should talk about, John, is this Minolta 16, because it's been a project that's been brewing a very long time.
Yep.
And folks listening, you should know that Minolta 16 is a spy camera, but by no means is it a toy camera. It is not a toy camera. It's a metal spy camera, and it takes 16 millimeter film, and you could put 16 millimeter perforated film, which is movie film in it, or you could put, if you could find, but now you can, unperforated 16 millimeter film called Minolta 16 film, which the Film Photography Project now sells. Well, the dilemma is that 16 millimeter film needs to be bought in rolls of 100 feet. So if you're shooting with your Minolta 16 camera and you need 20 inches for one roll,
you got to buy 100 feet.
Yeah, that's a big investment. So now the Film Photography Project is selling 25-foot rolls, little rolls, of Minolta 16 film. And now, and the reason I'm talking about this is because finally, in production, are the cartridges.
Oh.
Minolta 16 cartridge. And a big thanks to Jeff at 20th Century Cameras.
20th Century Cameraman.
Thanks, Jeff. He designed it. I sent him an existing Minolta 16 cartridge. I'm like...
And he copied it.
Jeff, can you help a guy out, Jeff? And he... Well,
helped the guy out.
Well, it's all like computerized. Like you have to like do a CAD drawing. Like you have to put a file together. I know nothing about it, folks. It's not my thing.
He's smart.
Yeah. So he sent me the file, and then the folks at our plastics company, which you laughed at before.
You got a guy in plastics.
Yeah, I got a guy in plastics.
My guy.
Yeah.
I'll send it to my plastics guy.
Yeah. He sent me the first prototype, which I just tested, and I'm going to show you folks right now how to load your own Minolta 16.
How to roll your own.
The camera works as such. So let's say this was loaded. You would shoot. Well, you would load, shoot, and then to go to your next frame, you would basically lock and load.
Yep.
Next frame.
Right. Push it in. That advances the film when you push it in and cocks the shutter.
Yep, it's a real camera. On the side here, you have like this little wheel, two of them.
Two wheels, aperture and shutter.
Yep, and one is 2.8, 4, 5.6, 8, 11, 16. On the other side is your shutter speeds. B for bulb, amazing. 30th of a second, 1/60th of a second, 1/125th of a second, 2/50th of a second, 500th of a second. Second. And then next to that, you have a PC port, which is amazing. A PC port, so you can put a flash on this.
How would you use it with the flash, though? It'd be real awkward.
You hold your flash.
Yeah, I guess.
You would hold your flash. This particular model does not have a tripod.
So you can't put a bracket on it for the flash.
No, not for this model, but there are a bunch of models.
I think the one I have has a screw mount on it.
That's quite possible. So when you go to load this camera, you basically, there's a button on the bottom. You would open that button and pull the camera apart. And before you load, you would need to set the counter back to S. So there is a little red line, and then you line up the S to the red line.
For shoot.
Yep. For start, S.
Oh, start. Yeah, I guess. That too.
Yep. So, and then on the bottom of the camera is a compartment where the cartridge gets popped into. And this is a gear-driven camera. So this gear here is what drives inside the camera.
It advances the film?
It advances the film, yes. So you would take...
So there's no batteries. No electronics involved in this camera whatsoever.
There are no batteries whatsoever in a Minolta 16 camera. So you would take your about 20 inches of film, and this camera, the exposures go up to 20, so you get 20 shots per strip of film, about 20 inches, maybe a little less. And in the dark, you have to do this in the dark. And this is a DIY thing. I guess if you sent a finished cartridge to a DIY shop like Blue Moon Camera, they're in Portland, you'd be able to tell them, hey, can you process this film, print this film, scan this film, and can you send me my cartridge back?
They do 16.
Blue Moon Camera in Portland, Oregon does 16. I'm not sure if the darkroom, if the folks at the darkroom.com in San Clemente, if they handle such an odd format. I will find out. But if you're listening and you know of a lab that could handle such an odd format, I mean, there's nothing really odd about it. It's 16 millimeter film. It's the same size as 110.
But is it harder because it's not perfed? I mean,
does
that matter?
No, that has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I think what's important is the fact that you want to get your what's valuable is your cartridge. So you don't want to shoot a roll of film, send this to a lab, and then have you send and have them send your film back, scans, but then you don't get your cartridge. I highly recommend you attack this as a DIY project and then develop it yourself. You take your strip of film, and what you would do is you would roll it into a tiny little ball.
Tiny little
ball.
Just follow the curve of the film, you said, right?
Oh, yes, thank you. So you want... The film will have a natural curve to it. And the inner side of the film, the inside of the film, is the emulsion side, which you take your picture on. And the outside is the base, which is the shiny. So you always want your emulsion facing your lens. So you take your film and you roll it into a little ball. And you will need to do this in a dark bag or in a dark room, completely dark room. I mean, you could use a bathroom, but it has to be completely light free. I'm doing this as I'm rolling. I'm telling you all this.
You're doing good because you're talking and rolling that at the same time. It's like chewing gum and walking, right?
I think so.
You're multitasking.
And what you will need to do this, and it's very important because you do not want to get the film sweats, which is a real thing. You actually break out into a sweat. Mm-hmm. You want to send your family or whoever away. Like, you need time and space, and you don't need to be bugged.
Lock your pets up.
Yeah.
Put them outside on the leash.
Oh, my God. Yeah, if you live with cats, like, you'll be just trying to roll this in the dark. Out, let's say you're in the bathroom or in your dark room, and your cat will start digging to china. You know what that is, John?
No, I don't have cats.
It's when your cat starts digging at the door because you're on the other side and it wants in. And
it's cute, but annoying.
It's cute, but by the time you do this and you open the door, the rug will be just destroyed.
That's right, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
No joke.
And that's why landlords don't want people with cats. That's just one reason.
Yeah. So you roll one into a little ball here, and then in the cartridge, there's the one side that is really specifically for the film to just sit in, and you just put it in there.
It has no gear in it.
The side without the gear is where you put your take-up, basically all your rolled film.
Right.
And then you just slide it in.
Just like regular chicken.
Yeah. You just slide it and let it sit there. Now you could even put the cap on if you want.
Well, you didn't tell people to put a piece of tape on the other end, though.
Yes, you will need a piece of tape.
You need to do that first, right?
I used white artist tape, but you could use really any tape you want.
Scotch tape?
Sure.
Gaffer's tape.
Gaffer's tape too thick.
Cellophane. Well, you said any tape you want.
That's true.
Electrical tape.
Electrical tape is okay, but in hot sun it gets sticky.
Gets gummy.
I would use white artist tape. And on the other side, you put the film, you tape it to the little spool.
Uh-huh.
Make sure it's the right side so that the gear is facing out. And then you put that in.
You stick it in.
Nice. There, you slip it in. And then you put your cap on. And now you have your very own roll of Minolta 16 film. And the first time you do it, you might be sweating profusely. You might be.
Were you sweating profusely when you did it? Did you get the sweats?
No, I think I was just more annoyed than anything else.
No. You're past the sweating stage. Now you just get grumpy and angry.
You have to be in the right
grunts.
If you're not in the mindset, then just put it down and do it another time.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to put it in your camera and you find out that it doesn't fit flush, that's because the gear has to line up with the
gear of the spool.
The gear of the camera has to line up with the gear portion of the spool.
Did you fit it in?
Pop it in.
Oh, it worked.
This time it worked because it was lined up. But if not, then you would just take your camera and kind of just adjust it a little bit.
Kind of jerk it a little bit.
Yeah, because
a little finagling.
Then you close the camera. Have like a sharp blade or a knife handy, so you could, if you need to pull your. There's no emergency here. So if it doesn't fit in right initially,
don't jam it.
You can pull your cartridge out. I mean, and once you load your cartridge, work in dim light. Don't work in like blazing sunlight. So as of right now, the FPP will have the spools very soon. We have the film. John just asked, will we sell them already loaded? That's a great question, John. Do you know why? Because no one's going to want to load these themselves.
No.
Yeah.
No one is going to want to load them themselves.
I'm not going to. I'm going to come over here and ask you to do it for me. I'll pay extra for it.
I think there's a select few people who will want to load it. And there's going to be those people who just like,
There are people who like to do this stuff, who find it challenging and not annoying. And it will not waste as much film as I would if I were to try it myself.
And then you put your camera back together.
Isn't that beautifully machined, how it opens and closes so nicely?
This camera is so beautifully machined, John.
It really is.
It is. It's the most amazing thing.
It's so smooth. And the fact that, one little button opens it up and takes it apart and then you put it together, it's nice.
Like any DIY project or any odd format, it's all getting used to, and you have to troubleshoot it yourself. You really do. Like you got to
figure it out.
You have to figure it out.
You got to make mistakes in order to advance yourself.
And the only blame to take, because John, I think you're aware, I field a lot of questions here at the FPP.
Questions and you answer them. People look to you for answers.
Yes.
Okay.
And when I receive questions on a myriad of subjects, a lot of times it's about processing, developing, which Leslie and Matt, help out with. I'm really encouraging people to work through it yourself. Like, get some tips, but this is your hobby and it's your art, and you need to.
You can do it.
You need to get through it.
You can do this.
Yeah, and not get frustrated or think like.
You can do it.
Throw the camera against the wall. Ah!
Yeah. So that's.
I'm going back to drawing.
So that's it on the Minolta 16. It's really a remarkable little camera. It takes really good pictures, and it's a fun little camera just to put in your pocket.
Yep.
Podcast at filmphotographyproject.com.
Ba-bing!
If you'd like to write to us about it. Oh. Moving right along, Leslie Lazenby was kind enough to send. What does the note say, John?
It says, I don't know if these are any good, but they are certainly fabulous. And who doesn't want a fabulous fingers?
I would like to try it. This is from Leslie Lazenby. She sent it
They're opened.
Yeah, I tried one.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure the rats didn't get into them. That's a very good, fabulous.
This is from Mike Fromhold. He says, on one of your this talks about Minolta 16.
Oh.
On one of your later podcasts, 240-ish, I binge listen when on work road trips. You mentioned that you were having film cartridges made for the Minolta 16 spy camera. I could not find them in the store. I did, however, find the film. Are the cartridges readily available, or did I just miss them? Well, as you know...
We just talked about this.
Well, I'm just reading this is from Mike Fromhold.
Okay.
He also says, I love your podcast. Pod is all caps. I love your podcast so much.
Oh.
I have listened to other photography podcasts, and they are no match.
What?
For what you and your team bring to the table.
It's you, Mike. It's all you.
By the way, we are at a table.
It's true.
This is a table.
See? Table.
Thanks so much for the store and the podcast. Well, Mike, I have some news for you.
Thanks for the gumball.
Yeah, thanks for the gumball, Mickey.
Thanks for the gumball.
You're the reason that we can continue. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. If I had not received so many emails about the Minolta 16, I would have just forgotten about it.
Really? That's what prompted you to get this done.
I mean, me, you, Mark Dalzell, a few years ago, we were all like Minolta 16 crazy. We all had them. We were all spying on each other.
Yes. Shooting each other's sensitive documents.
And a few years went by, and then we all just forgot about it. But then I started getting inquiries like Minolta 16. I'm like, oh, yeah, Minolta 16. And the reason the Minolta 16 project came together was thanks in large part to the Cine 8 project, because Cine 8, 8mm film, needs 16mm wide film.
Right.
And I had to bring in 16mm wide film in order to start that project. With many thanks to Eastman Kodak Company, bringing in delicious Eastman Kodak 50D.
So good, delicious.
Double X, and other. So that's when the little light bulb went on over my head like a ding. No, for real. I'm like, oh, man. This film would work perfect in a Minolta 16.
If I could only get someone to make the inserts. I got a guy. 20th century cameraman.
This is from Nick Cini. Now, Nick has been shooting our color infrared film and shot some amazing color IR pictures. But recently he started shooting millimeter movies.
Oh.
Nick says,
You got him, Mike.
I'm getting interested in either super or regular 8mm film for travel. I'm not in any rush, but I'm curious about the availability of color, regular 8. If I invest in that system over Super 8, I just want to know that color film will be available for it.
And guess what?
Our good friend Doug Galupski tells me, see, we're all thick as thieves. Our good friend Doug Galupski tells me he thinks it's just a supply chain issue of why the color's not in stock right now. Well, Nick, it's a supply and demand issue is what it is. I had no idea when I made the first batch of regular 8 that anyone would care, and it just sold out like in an hour.
When you say that, I just picture you like in a kitchen over a big pot, making a big batch of Super 8 film.
Regular 8.
Or regular 8 film. Putting it in the oven with mitts on, and you got the apron on. You're like, ooh, pretty soon I'm going to have some film.
So the 8mm film, double 8 film, comes in batches, and it gets batched. It comes into the store, it disappears, and I'm already working on the second batch, be it Color 50D, Color 500T, Color Ektachrome 100D.
All that stuff is gone, you're saying?
It's all gone.
Wow.
Gone.
Holy crap.
Nick, thanks. We're working on it.
And I get that for the summer, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
For folks who say, oh, I want to invest in a Super 8 or regular 8, to me, you don't really need to like worry about one or the other, because regular 8 is so inexpensive to invest in that even if you are invest in a good Super 8 camera, you could invest in a great regular 8 camera because they're so inexpensive. Mm-hmm. So you can get a simple Kodak Brownie for $5, $10.
They're everywhere.
Nick says, speaking of random mutual acquaintances, I love that story you told on a recent pod about you and John West. Have you met up with him since he moved back to Joyzy? That's what it says, Joyzy.
Joyzy.
I used to do freelance video work for him in Arizona.
Huh. Look at that.
Thanks, Nick Cini.
I didn't know he was in Jersey.
I knew he was in Jersey. John didn't know he was in Jersey. And I think I told the story of how we used to get on the bus to go to Manhattan to buy film for our film classes. So you couldn't buy 16mm film stock in New Jersey. You used to have to get on the bus, go to Rafik in Manhattan, walk up the rickety stairs.
Was that in the 40s?
I don't know where Rafik was. They may still be there for all I know.
Wow.
And John, myself, John Fedele, John West, we would frequently go do this together.
For school projects.
Yeah, for school projects. And then what I only recently found out, because I started scanning camera rolls of some projects that I worked on after college that, John, you helped out with. Mm-hmm. Like we were talking about, before we started recording, we were talking about the Tag You're It, a.k.a. Fiend, which is you are a fiend, and the only way to not be a fiend is to give it to someone else.
To fiend it off on someone else.
Yes, so you'd have to find somebody, and then you kind of attack them. You don't kill them.
It's a transference.
You transfer your fiendliness into that person. And then you're fine. Then you leave.
Right. And you're like, oh, glad that's over.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
All this is caused by UFOs.
So I transferred the camera. It was camera roll 3. I found all of them. But I only transferred one camera roll.
Oh.
And it's John. John is in it. So the scene on this camera roll was shot on Ridge Road, and you were coming out of a florist. You were coming out of
smelling.
You had a bouquet,
fresh bouquet,
and you were walking across the street,
flowers.
and I think you were bringing the flowers to your girlfriend.
Right.
So you see that, and then you enter the house to give the flowers, and you see your girl. She's on the couch, but you can't see her. She's all like crouched over, like you can't see her face. And then she turns around, and it's like,
It's just attacks.
She just attacks you because she is the fiend.
Right. She can't help herself.
Can't help it. So while you were getting flowers, either like the UPS guy came or somebody
fiended her.
Someone fiended her.
Yeah.
But so in between, because this is a camera roll, in between takes, there's like a quick shot. I have forgotten all these. I have forgotten like what a group we had. So I guess when we were working on a project, so in the background there was Scott Wilson, John West. These were all people we went to school with, and I guess if we had a project, we would call them up and say, hey, we're doing a shoot. Can you come down and help out?
Yep.
And how awesome was it that we had this like little group?
Great.
You don't seem too excited.
It would be better if like one of them was like Martin Scorsese and Brian De Palma. You hear about those guys always used to hang out. It's just us bums. Who went on to be wedding videographers.
Yes, John and I became wedding videographers. That was exciting for a few years.
It was fun. No, I mean, I don't want to underplay it. It was great to have that camaraderie and hang out with a bunch of like-minded people, and we would just work on each other's projects. It was a great time.
Well, I think we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break and come back fresh. So, all right, we'll be right back.
There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She went out in her car one day, and her children went too. If her car catches fire, she'd know what to do. Ah! Stop. Put on the brake. Take the key from the dash. Get away from the car, in case there's a flash. The old lady knows just what to do. Do you?
We're back. I don't have hair like Matt, though. His hair is amazing.
Hey, we're back. John, you don't look so good. You've been feeling okay?
I don't know. A little something.
You said something. You had some tacos, and you ate some mule sauce.
I had a lot of mule sauce. A lot.
Have you thought about trying Carter's pills?
I haven't. Will it help me?
So,
what are Carter's pills?
I started collecting 16mm commercial spots, and from the mid 20th century. So I saw a description at an auction. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Carter. I didn't even know what it was. I just knew they weren't around anymore. What is it? It's laxative, and it's Mad Men era commercial. And I watched it. I said, this is like a Twilight Zone episode.
Thank God.
So there's this woman, and she's a housewife in the mid-1950s, and like some nanny comes like waltzing in, all very like...
It's Mrs. Carter.
Yeah. And the woman's like, oh, I don't feel so well.
In my tummies.
Yeah, she's like, oh, dude, why don't you try Carter's pill? So I don't know if they're still around, but maybe you folks at home, if you're like, oh, man, I don't feel so good. Maybe everyone needs, in these times, some Carter's pills.
Mm-hmm.
Reach me up a red one, dear. Not blue, dear, red.
No, it's no good.
Now, don't chicken out.
But Aunt Mary, I don't feel up to giving that kid's party tomorrow.
Sluggish? Headachy? Sounds like irregularity. Whenever I feel that way, I take Carter's pills. Best laxative I ever found. Gets rid of all those sluggish, headachy, out-of-sorts feelings caused by irregularity. As I always say, it's like getting a new lease on life when you take Carter's pills. Hi. Everything A-OK, dear?
Everything's great, Aunt Mary. And you were so right about Carter's.
Best laxative I've ever found. As I always say, it's like getting a new lease on life when you take Carter's pills.
Remember Carter's for gentle, effective, temporary relief of irregularity. Carter's pills.
Hey, we're back.
It's so of its time.
Yeah.
I mean, it just captures the whole time.
Speaking of stomachache, we have a big package over there. Who's that from? I'm very excited about this.
A listener called Garrett Rafal. I hope I'm saying your name right. And it came with some goodies.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Let me get through this box here. Let's see. Ah, look. Coffee Crisp. We love these, right? These are from Canada.
Yeah.
The country of Canada?
Canada, yeah.
And then, let's see what else we got. Oh, have you ever had this before, Mike? Mr. Big. This is for you.
Mr. Big.
This is specifically for you here.
Oh, thanks.
You're Mr. Big around here. And then what else we got?
Mr.
Oh,
Big.
shoot. I'm dropping stuff everywhere.
Great. Caramel.
Caramel.
Great.
Is that what it says? Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Cadbury's good because they got the chocolate with the little... Oh, yeah, they got the little pieces in there, and they're all filled with caramel. Milk chocolate. And, oh, what's this? Ooh. What is it? Arrow. See, I never heard of this stuff before. This is uniquely Canadian? Or uniquely...
I've never heard of Arrow.
Nope. Dark mint. And, oh, what's this? Oh, some Naked Famous stickers.
Mmm.
And last but not least, oh, what is this? Oh, Wheelo Life.
What is that?
It's a book. Hold on, let's read the letter from Garrett.
Good idea.
It says, "Hey, FPP gang, I hope these snacks find you well. I am a Canadian photographer from Vancouver,
Mr. Big.
currently living in Montreal. Enclosed, I've enclosed a copy of my first printed book, Guilo Life, which is right here, and it's nice. Nice, heavy, thick. Guilo in Cantonese translates to foreigner. The photos were taken back in 2016 when I lived in Hong Kong for 3 years. I used to wander the streets almost every day as there is no shortage of things to shoot. If you get a chance, I highly recommend it as a film shooter's dream. The city is full of interesting buildings, landscapes, and people, which makes shooting almost too easy. I'm also sure you know Hong Kong is going through a tough time. Well, ain't we all? 2013-2014. In 2013-14, I could foresee the current trajectory. As a result, I took it upon myself to shoot as many photos as I could to capture the current state. Thanks for a great show and everything the FPP does. I hope someday to make a trip down to see you guys for a meetup. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much for the book. Garrett Rafal."
John, here.
I don't know where the book is available. Maybe you could just Google it. Some shots that Garrett took in his travels to Hong Kong. It's nice.
John, here's your taste of Mr. Big.
Wet my beak. That's my taste. So thanks, Garrett. Appreciate it. What else were we going to talk about? You want to talk about Brendan's shed camera?
Who?
Brendan. Brendan Barry, a listener from the UC.
You have a letter? What do you got?
Yeah.
That's good, right? Which camera?
Huh?
Which camera?
He made his garden shed into a camera.
Oh, we received a letter. We get some great letters here. Podcast at filmphotographyproject.com.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's delish. So it's from Brendan Barry.
Give me another Mr. Big.
That's it. There was only one.
I'm all high on chocolate.
Yeah. Great. You just need one of those coffee things, what you drink.
I'll take off like a rocket ship.
Oh, my God. It says, "Hi there. Hope you're all doing well at the Film Photography Project, surviving and staying sane during the lockdown. I've just made a new video about the camera and darkroom I have built out of / in my shed. You have to see this video. I can't give you the link here because it's all, question marks and V's and equal signs and stuff, but I looked it up by just going on YouTube and putting shed camera, and it came right up. And the chap's name is Brendan Barry. And you see what he's done. It's great. In the back corner of his garden, he took this very small, cramped shed and made it into a dark room, utilizing all the space beautifully. And he put a freaking lens through one of the walls and made a camera, which the lens projects onto a magnetic board, a erase board, dry erase board. So it's very interesting what he did. So you should check it out.
I thought his approach was good too.
The guy was methodical, smart,
and he painted.
He's got a cute kid.
Yeah, he's painted a nice picture. And where is he located?
In UC.
UC. He lives in UC, UK.
UK somewhere.
Yeah. And you said that everyone in the UC has a garden and a shed.
I don't know if everyone does, but it's a thing there. Gardens are very big in the UC.
He seemed to have, in a very short period of time that I watched the video, you got a sense of just a nice place.
Yeah, it's very pleasant. It's
a
beautiful, lovely little backyard. A tiny little shed that is very nondescript, and he blacked it out and did a great job. He says, "I usually run workshops, but obviously they are not possible right now during lockdown. So I've been making these videos on a variety of different things that people can follow at home." So he has other videos that you can look at on YouTube, how to make your own developer and fixer using household items, turn your bedroom into a camera obscura. And his website and Instagram, he's Instagram.com, Brendan Barry Photo is his. And he's also, his website is brendanbarry.co.uk.
What's his handle on the IG?
Brendan Barry Photo.
BRENDAN
B-A-N.
Brendan.
B-A-R-R-Y. Barry.
Oh, there he is.
Very lovely, smart guy.
Whoa. I'm going to follow him right now on IG. Hey, I want to talk really quick about our FPP peers.
What do you mean?
These are our film photography podcast philanthropists.
I thought you were talking about our incontinent viewers.
No. So, with all sincerity, folks, I really would like to thank the people out there that in the last month have activated their donation status, their subscription status with this podcast.
We got new people this week?
Yes.
Oh.
By going to filmphotographyproject.com, clicking the donate button, and then there's a button you click to make a cash donation, and that is a subscription, whereas you pledge X amount of dollars per month. And I can't stress enough, just $1.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something crazy.
If you listen to the Film Photography podcast regularly and have been listening regularly, just your $1, $2, or whatever you think per month makes an amazing difference, because we have so many FPPers out there listening. If everyone gave just a little, John, just a little taste,
just a little bit.
If I could just wet my beak in everyone's pocket like a little bird. Of course, the wet my beak is famous from The Godfather Part 2.
Was it Don Fanucci?
Don Fanucci,
the white glove.
The white hand. No,
the white hand,
the black hand.
Oh, the black hand.
But he wore a white suit.
Yeah,
it was like,
he had a gold tooth, didn't he?
I don't know what he had.
I think he had a gold tooth.
He found out that Vito Corleone was like,
and Bruno, what's his name?
Clemenza.
Oh, well, that was Clemenza.
Yeah,
oh,
they were pulling a bunch of jobs in the neighborhood, and he like pulled them over. I was like,
come here, show me no respect, though.
Right. If I didn't know that, or wet my beak.
He's like, I won't take much. Just a little taste, just to wet my beak.
Our good friend Jeremy Mudd, we spoke recently about Jeremy because Jeremy sent a letter in.
Yep.
He decided rather than
his name really is Mudd. It's true.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Sorry, Jeremy.
John.
The guy that says stupid things.
Yeah. Jeremy, rather than doing a subscription every month, he gave a bigger sum. One bigger sum.
One lump sum.
One lump. So, Jeremy, you're good.
Thanks, man. You're awesome.
You're awesome. Scott Olson, thank you very much, Scott. Greatly, greatly appreciated. The next person is no stranger to the FPP. Mr. William Bill Lowy.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
The NASA scientist.
Blowy on Flickr.
Great guy. Him and his wife.
Lynn. Yeah, you guys
Very
are great.
lovely people.
Bill and Lynn, they came to all of our events when, the Midwest meetups, and it was just a lot of fun. And Bill, kindly in 20-something, 2013, he shot the FPP Walking Workshop on his VHS camcorder.
Oh, my God.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
And Bill, I never realized how valuable that footage is until it is now all these years later when you realize that, we did this event, but there's no moving picture documentation.
That was in Ohio?
That was in Ohio. And lastly, Mr. Manuel Pardo Jr. And Manuel says...
Manuel or Manuel?
Yeah, you read his letter. I'm so awful.
Manuel. Hi. Let's see. Michael.
Hey, John, excuse me 1 second. What? It's like what's that like ghost chair behind you? It's like a chair behind you?
Oh, this over here? Yeah, it's the one that's busted, what you always give me. I always get the busted chair. Look. It goes back like this. Michael, you are most welcome. What is he thanking you for?
Oh, I sent him an email saying thank you very much for being a special FPP.
Oh, okay. He's one of our subscribers?
Yes.
Oh, very good. All right. Manuel, you are most welcome. I am proud to be FPPer. To be an FPPer.
Wait. So, can we get the name thing out of the way?
Yeah, it's Manuel. It's not Manuel.
I'm so sorry, Manuel. I'm so sorry.
Yikes.
My mother grew me up stupid.
He didn't get out too much as a child.
Right.
If your name wasn't Frank or Bill, he couldn't pronounce it. You are most welcome. I am proud to be an FPPer. Your site and podcast continues to inspire me to shoot film and try new things. Because of episode FPP 126, I got the courage, quote unquote, to develop black and white film at home. And more recently, I came across your blog post developing black and white at home, beyond the basics, and got some FA 1027 developer to go along with the Eastman Bolex, which you and the gang have been talking about the last few months. Please keep doing what you are doing, and I'll keep supporting the FPP. Thanks, Manuel. In San Francisco, he sent the picture in there. That's pretty good, man. It's pretty sweet.
And just go to filmphotographyproject.com to donate if you're interested. If not, that's cool too.
Yeah. Be a jerk.
This is one of our customers who shops at the filmphotographystore.com, which is our store. Also, how does FPP survive? It's not just our subscribers. It's people who go to our store and buy film from us, buy movie film scanning services. This all contributes to making this whole project continue. So this is from Jason Malone. And Jason is a customer, and he sent us a little baggie.
Whoa, give me that.
A little baggie, some sticks.
What is that?
4 sticks of 120 film.
Oh, interesting.
But they're wrapped in ye old-fashioned paper.
Looks like leaves or something.
Yeah, he says, enjoy these rolls of Soviet film. I received a bunch of these from the Ukraine.
How'd he get them?
Yeah, how?
How? Mr.
All
Malone?
he told me was, so I received a bunch of these from the Ukraine, and all, I guess the person he got them from told him was, found in roof.
You're kidding.
No, no kidding.
Crazy.
I have too many, so I want to share them with you.
Wow,
Maybe do a cool podcast. There are 2 rolls of black and white and 2 rolls of E6 color. I shot 1 roll of each of them. They expired in the 70s.
Oh, my God.
So he says...
Been cooking up in the roof.
One is labeled 65. It's black and white, exposed at ISO 20. One is labeled 50, E6, exposed ISO 12. Thank you a lot, Mr. Manu. Mr. Jason Malone. That's very, very nice. And I can tell you who wants to shoot these. John Fedele.
Yes.
Is very interested in shooting this.
I'm going to shoot some in my 645.
And folks listening, if you would like to see John's curated shots, John just joined Instagram. And you are Big Head Sue 2?
TOO, yeah. Somebody already took Big Head Sue. Can you imagine that?
No. And I saw you had some great shots. Like you had some one shot with the Sphema color of your boy on the beach with with an old hand.
I guess my mother was putting her hand on his head, and the composition is just so strange, just so weird.
Some really good shots, folks.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. Today is Uncle Jim's birthday, and she knows what to do. She's bought him a gift the children admire.
It's a home smoke detector.
To protect him from fire. So rushing right over, they tippy-toe in and give him his present. When choosing the right gift, the old lady knew just what to do.
Do you?
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Plastics. Plastics. Plastics.
35 millimeter plastics.
Now, why are you so interested in these at the moment?
I'm not, but everyone else is.
How do you know? Who told you this?
Well, what's hot right now, John? 35 millimeter plastics. What is it? We're talking about. Pay attention.
About what? Point and shoots?
John's eating like John's over there eating eating sugar.
Yeah, delicious sugar.
The hot thing right now is 35 millimeter plastic point and shoot cameras. And John just asked me a second ago, why? Why are these so popular? How do you know? How do you know?
Yeah.
Well, I know because of the filmphotographystore.com, because this is red hot.
Whoa.
This is called the Harman camera.
I can see that. Where'd you get them from?
Well, these, Ilford makes these.
Oh, yeah, that looks like the Ilford font, I guess.
Yeah, we get these from our good friends at Roberts Distributors.
Oh, look at that.
So this is red hot,
That's
and
red hat.
this has been red hot. This is called the Lomo Simple Use.
Did that come with film already in it?
Oh. And this, I investigated. This is the Kodak M35. So what's this all about? It's all about 35 millimeter plastic cameras, and the trend right now is reloadables rather than the traditional one-time use, or as we say in the States, throwaway camera.
Can we say disposable?
Or disposable.
Nobody says throw away.
So forever, you'd be able to run into your pharmacy, your Duane Reade, your CVS, your Rite Aid, and everyone would run in, and still do, if you believe it, in 2020, and you'd buy a one-time use Kodak.
They still sell them in CVS? Huh.
One-time use Kodak or Fuji camera. They were hugely popular, and they still are. We have the Kodak Fun Saver in the FPP online store. It's only $9.99, and it sells like hotcakes. So 35 millimeter plastic cameras are really hot right now, and this is not so much as a review, except this. This is not so much a review, but more of just an overview of because they're so popular. So let's start with what has been around, which was the Lomo Simple Use. The Lomo Simple Use, this particular one, as you see, I have a what's known as a gel, also known as a filter.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, so I have on the front of it
Got it taped on.
an 85 plastic gel taped over my lens, and that's so I can shoot tungsten film.
So you can shoot it inside?
No, I could shoot tungsten film outside.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an 85 orange filter. So, and I did a little video previously on this camera of how to load it. So, down in the comments area, down in the description area, I'll put a little link of how you could load this camera. And the loading is very similar with the other cameras as well. This comes preloaded with film.
So when you got to mail it back, or you got to open it up and take the film out?
Great question. The Lomo Simple camera, you buy it in. There's a few different varieties. You could buy it with a roll of black and white film in it, a roll of color film in it,
sure.
a roll of Lomo Chrome Purple in it, a roll of Lomo Chrome Metropolis in it.
Oh, the new Metropolis.
That's right. The cheapest one is $18.99. Comes preloaded.
What?
With $18.99 comes preloaded with the film.
That's that's pretty good, I guess, with the roll of film.
When
is it easy to open? Does it describe?
Well, here's the
directions?
thing in a nutshell, which I will probably say over and over. These cameras, they're all of them share the same daintiness. And when I say that, I mean if you have big Gorilla mitts or if you're overly rough on them, they're going to break very, very easily. You have to kind of
advance them gently.
You have to just
open and close them gently.
Be very gentle with them, and
don't throw them in your bag. And
no, you can throw them in your bag
with the water bottle.
That's right. Yeah,
you can throw them in your bag, but just
suntan lotion
when loading them, unloading them. So here with the simple use, it's a 31 millimeter lens, 1/120th of a second shutter speed, has a fixed f9. I always recommend 100 ISO film, and if you did a light meter reading outside, you would see, 100 ISO film is great, and because
what's the shutter speed though?
1/120th of a second.
Oh, it's
1/20th.
Those
of a
are
second.
weird numbers.
They
F9,
are
120. What the heck?
Has a flash built in, and it focuses from 1 meter to infinity.
And beyond!
Yeah. And the thing with this, and the reason I think I brought up this whole topic is, the reason I have this camera here, and it's all like open, is because someone bought this at the FPP, filmphotographystore.com, and sent me an email saying, Mike, the camera's broken.
It's busted.
It's busted, Mike.
You busted it, Mike.
I don't want another one. I just want to send it back. And the FPP has
what's your policy?
Policy is you bought it, you own it.
Except,
I said, look, it's broken. You don't want another one. Fine. I said, I queried her. I said, all right, do you have the packaging? Do you still have the 2 rolls of film? Yada, yada. Little did I know, I got it back.
No film.
No, here's the film. It's a roll of Kentmere black and white Pan 400, which kind of is strange, I think, because all these cameras seem to be loaded with 400 film, when in fact
200,
100, 200. I don't know why they come with 400 film. Very strange. So here it is. The Harman. It's called Harman reusable camera.
That's a nice looking plastic thing.
Yeah, I love it because it's called what it is. There's no fancy name here. Harman reusable camera. And this camera, I think, is even daintier than the Lomo simple use camera. So I got it back. There was a roll of film in it, poorly loaded.
Oh, jeez.
I opened it up. I took it out. And the person who said it was broken just didn't have the patience.
Didn't have the light touch.
Didn't have the patience to understand that.
Can you feel the frustration? Like, take it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, take it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, take it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's broken.
The camera's it has to be loaded right in order to trigger the shutter. The camera works just fine. It's not it'll only break if you
break it.
It'll only break if you break it. So if you treat these right, my Lomo Simple, I've had this camera for 3 years.
Wow.
And it's still going great. These things don't die easy. You just have to, not be so rough. So this camera, this one, the Harman, this is $30. Comes with 2 rolls of film. It has a built-in flash. The specs are very similar to the Lomo.
Does it
Simple.
take like a AA, AAA for the flash?
Takes 1 AAA battery.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. 2 rolls of film. We sell so many of these, John. They're so popular.
Where does the name Harman come from?
Well, Harman Technologies. It's a company that I believe either Ilford bought or the other way around.
Okay.
So Ilford Harman, they're in the UK. The UK.
Their father, sister, daughter, sister, brother companies or whatever.
So these are hot, like hot cakes.
Hot, like...
Hot. Lomo simple use. And then...
Buster Poindexter hot.
The elusive M35.
They don't make those anymore.
These are brand new. It comes in...
really?
Comes in 3 fab colors. The problem is...
Kodak puts out a camera now.
Kodak, I called Kodak. I said, what's the story? Can I get these, please? I'd like to sell these like hotcakes. I'm like, can I please sell these like hotcakes?
No.
Can I please sell out of these?
No. Well, what'd they say? Do you carry them?
They said, Mike, I think it's a licensing deal. So a company in Asia licensed the name Kodak.
Oh, okay.
And makes the Kodak M35.
So these are made somewhere overseas?
These are not available in the U.S. You can buy these on eBay.
Is that where you got that one?
I did. I bought this. John.
How much?
$35.
Hey, no film.
No film.
Oof.
And the specs are just similar. Same, junky plastic. Same, you got to handle it. You have to treat it right. Same. John, these cameras are made at the same place.
One's yellow, one's black. That's the only difference. Now that's what I was going to ask you. What is the difference between those two cameras, or all 3 cameras?
Look at these. Look at these.
They are pretty much. They're exactly the same. It's the same Fargan camera.
Well, the lens structure is exactly the same.
Yeah, but look at the design over the lens. It's the same camera. I told you, one's black, one's yellow. It's the only difference.
Well, listen, Harman, dear Mr. Harman, here's what you do.
What's up, Mike? What can I do for you?
Mr. Harman.
Yes?
You need to license the name Kodak and release this in the U.S.
Yes?
And it will sell like hotcakes.
Tell me more, Mr. Raso. How are you going to make me millions with plastic cameras?
So you keep this one. You keep this one black, nice, Harman. But then you come out with this one, yellow, pink, green.
Brilliant.
The same camera.
I'll buy that for £1.
The only original here is this Lomo. This is totally different.
Away with it. I don't need it.
Point and shoot cameras are the rage right now. Most people are shooting with the, Olympus Stylus Epic. Mm-hmm. There's so many.
That's a pretty good one, right?
Well, yeah. Those are much better built.
What's the one I got with the telephoto lens on it?
Yeah, it's Olympus Stylus Zoom.
Yeah, love that thing. It's nice.
So I just want to let everyone know that these are on fire right now.
On fire.
Well, you have to admit, John, these are great. If you're just going to go to the beach.
I'm telling you, I don't bring any other cameras except the Holgas and the, what's the one you sell? The Debonniere, and I'll bring that for sure to the beach.
Yep.
Because you don't want to worry about it. You just want to throw it in because that's what happens. The sand, your hands get greasy with stuff. And
for 120 medium format, also at
I want the film sweats at the beach.
Filmphotographystore.com. Yeah. The Holga is dirt cheap. The Holga 120 medium format and the Debonniere.
A great combination, Mike. The Holga and a Rollus Vima 125. Perfect together.
Holga 35 or
Holga 35.
Oh, no, Holga 35. Yes, I forgot.
And a Rollus Vima 125.
You own a Holga 120?
I do.
You own Holga 35 millimeter?
I own Holga 35. Yes, da.
And 35 and Holga 120 as well, or no, just Debonniere?
Isn't the Debonniere the Holga 120?
The Debonniere is the Debonniere. The Holga is the Holga.
Oh, I think I got one somewheres.
And you get some good pictures out of the Debonniere.
Love it. I'm a lo-fi guy. There's too many people who take too many great pictures with beautiful cameras and lenses. I do good stuff with just plastic lenses. And
the most famous picture here at the FPP, taken with the FPP Debonniere, is Matt Marash with Annie Leibovitz.
We talk about this every week.
Shot by Professor Jeff.
Yeah.
It was like a charmed moment, and it's such a great picture. It looked like Matt was like at an awards ceremony, right? Where like Annie Leibovitz was his date for the night.
There's something about those cameras that just it makes everything look dreamy and surreal, and just a little bit more interesting, I think, than just a straight shot.
I would have to.
Except
agree.
my in-laws would be like, "Why is it so fuzzy? Why are there things around the corners? Why can't you just take a nice shot on your phone that's clear? I can see what the hell's going on."
So get with it, folks.
Yeah.
Get with it. Try a plastic camera. It's not going to set you back much, and if you treat them right, you'll be able to pass it along to your kids when you have them.
Oh, thanks for this crappy plastic camera, Dad. Great inheritance.
Yeah. Well, now time has come.
I think that's it, right? Oh. Part B.
Part B. For all you folks that are still out there.
Yeah.
We're still listening. Oh, enough of these guys. Oh, you guys ruined it. I used to listen to the podcast, but once I saw them, ugh.
I thought you guys were ugly, but ugh.
Disgusting. Did you know that those guys were old? I thought that they were our age.
They don't know how to shave.
I thought they were our age.
No. So what do you want to show people? Come on, you're losing them, Mike. Come on.
Well, now we're going to talk about the show.
What show?
We're going to roll in.
It's the first time I said that where I really mean what show.
Yeah, we're going to roll in. So this premiered in late September 1988.
Oh, my God. And we would meet like at 6 o'clock at night, I think, after your day was done, and just start editing. We would shoot or edit for weeks on end. I remember many times driving home because I lived like 45 minutes to an hour away from where Comcast studios were. And there were many nights where I almost drove off the road because I was just tired.
Was it worth it, John?
I don't know. We'll see.
So in this, the anchor pieces are The Wasted Days of Youth, which is Salad Days. So this is a music video that John and I shot. But John, this was a band you were in.
This was a band I was in with a bunch of guys I grew up with.
Now, whose band was this?
It was originally Tom's band. He's the lead singer. And he's the guy that got us into all the cool stuff, The Jam and Joy Division and The Cure, all the cool English rock bands. So we actually played a couple of times at CBGB's. We opened up for John Cale at
which is amazing
at Maxwell's. We played Maxwell's more than a handful of times, but then infighting and stupidity broke us up. Yeah, we were just ready. We were going to get a Friday night shot at CBGB's. I just convinced the guy to bring us back, and he was going to put us on a Friday night, and the band just fell apart. We'd never made the gig.
And when you talk CBGB's back in the 80s,
yeah.
I mean, did you actually talk to Hilly?
No, I talked to the guy who booked.
Okay.
Because they were not going to book us because they were like, I don't know, you guys are kind of like old, hat by now. Nobody's really doing that kind of stuff anymore. And I convinced the guy that I'm like, Hilly said, I read something in one of the free presses where Hilly was like, we want all different types of people, not just punk rock and new wave and stuff. And we were more of an experimental band, so.
You didn't mention Bauhaus. I definitely hear
Bauhaus
influence.
I'm going to see them in June if the lockdown is lifted.
And what is the Bauhaus spin-off group?
Love and Rockets.
Love and Rockets.
Yeah. Joy Division became New Order.
Right.
Bauhaus became Love and Rockets.
I never forget, I went to a few of your gigs, and I remember at the time that girl June was handing out flyers.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just like a short bio. I guess at some point someone was trying to pull it together.
Tom was trying to do it.
And it was just like, we
all had stupid names too.
Salad Days, where from? D.C.
Lied a little bit.
Yeah. Was D.C. a hot place to be from?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of cool, Bad Brains and a bunch of punk rock, Henry Rollins and shit all came out of there, so.
Well, here's the thing, and I really believe this. If you guys kept it together and pulled it together, and I believe this now, anyone can pull a band together. And if the forces can keep it tight, like if everyone could be aligned in what they want to present, I think it could work. I think you guys could have worked.
It could have worked.
So we have that music video, and then there are like little pieces in between, like little short snippet films. Like, do you remember the 446 boys? Remember the Fighting Boys? It was Anthony and Mike Higgins.
Oh yeah,
They're just kind of like
just put sound effects in there.
I shot it fast in the camera, so that no, I shot it slow. I shot a slower film, slower frames per second, so it speeds up.
Right.
So it appeared that all their movements were fast, and then you and I dubbed over it.
Right.
Limit, Never Give Up. Remember Limit? They came into the studio for the Christmas song.
Right. They had this video already?
I shot this video already. There's a short piece, My Trip to Iowa.
Wow.
Do you recall that?
Yeah, I went out to Iowa to visit my relatives and shot. I think you gave me a camcorder specifically for it. I think you were like, oh, you got to videotape this. So I did, and then Mike just took bits and pieces of it and made a little 5-minute piece.
Yep. There's some great public service announcements like fire safety and then crash test dummies.
That was the one, I guess, national act that was on the bill.
Crash test dummies?
Yeah.
No. It was a public service announcement.
Oh, I thought it
buckle
was
your safety belts.
Oh, I thought it was a video by the crash test dummies.
Then there was a little experimental video piece called Turkey Boy. Do you remember it's the Trackman before he was the Trackman?
Have some turkey, boy. Yeah. That was your home movies.
It weren't home. It was like a little piece I put together. But yeah, there's like one shot of my Nana.
Yeah.
In it. And then the other staple, I mean, there were two bookends. The Salad Days video and then the Vero video got the best of me. And this was a Lodi area band.
I thought this song was good. And at the time, all music sounded like this.
This band could have been huge.
I don't know why they didn't.
I think the same thing. I think they opened for main acts.
They may have.
I think they opened for the Bon Jovi types. And I think Lisa from Comcast suggested this song, saying these guys need a music video. That's how I think we met these guys.
Oh.
And they were a good group of guys.
They were cool guys from Jersey.
Very, very. They were much more Jersey than us.
Yeah, totally. They were New Jersey Italian to the nth degree.
Yep. So podcast at filmphotographyproject.com. I very much like to hear from you folks, especially with this particular show where we're incorporating some media that John and I shot.
Oh my God!
A
lifetime ago,
a century ago.
Yeah, last century.
A different time, a different place. But I said to John before we started recording that like we're kind of doing the same thing in a sense of that. Back then we were kind of
bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, producing like here's a band that needs a music video. Hey, let's do this.
Yeah, we had to get up and go.
So
now our get up and go got up and went.
Yeah. So having said that, let's go to the new music show Vol.1 from 1988. And then we'll look for your feedback, and then hopefully John and I will see you soon. We got some great things coming up in coming weeks. We have a show, myself, John, Matt Marash, where we talk about large format. I have some segments and a show I'm going to be doing with Mark O'Brien, talking about low ISO films and more on Minolta 16 and spy cameras. I'm sure we'll do another episode with Owen, talking about Cine film, and I was on the phone with Leslie Lazenby, and Leslie's getting a sound recorder, and I'm
gonna Zoom her.
Yeah, I'm gonna get her on board with zooming in.
Yeah. Let it rip. Now, I hope you looked at all your lines.
Yeah, I've been
You know
studying
exactly
it.
what you're going to say.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
You can count on me.
All right. I just want to make sure. This is very important. You have to introduce the show, the Meadowlands Showcase.
Is the camera on me?
This is the Meadowlands. Yeah, we're not rolling yet.
Okay.
This is the Meadowlands Showcase presents. This show we're going to be looking at musicians. Other shows are going to look at directors and writers and show their work.
Okay.
This show is just musicians.
Okay.
Your line has to have the power and the punch of the Vero video that we're going to
Vero.
Vero. Right, you have to get that in there.
Vero.
And it has to be, that's good. And you have to have we shot Limit live at the 440. So
I
there's a
saw
lot of
that,
energy
okay.
there, so you have to incorporate that energy. We're also going to show a Salad Dave's video, which is a little bit off the cuff here, but you'll have to get all those in there in that nice, smooth transition. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, is everybody ready? All right, we're all set here. You got it, Dave?
Got it.
Okay.
No problem.
We're going to
Thanks.
try a little bit tighter on his face when Brent says it. All right, quiet on the set, please. Roll tape. Speed. And action, Dave.
Hi, and welcome to Meadowlands Showcase Presents. How'd that take go, Jim?
Heck was that?
What it's about really is it's about being 22, 23 and looking back at your life and realizing, wow, when I was 16 and 17, I really wanted to be 21 so I can go out drinking and all that stuff. And when you wanted to color that green to ripe, I also try to remember, hey, someday I'm going to be 30. But you look at your life, man, you took a lot of things for granted. It's not... You're younger. Love is like you're so tired for it. You've been through so many relationships and things. Like it's, you know, you can write other things about there is hope, there is some things to look forward to. You are only 25 years old. But the thing is, why couldn't I appreciate being 16, 17, and 18? Why couldn't I appreciate that? Because I wanted to be 21, 22, 23. And then when I got to this age, I realized, wow, I took a lot for granted when I was young. I was 16 years old at a time, but I wanted to be 21. Now when I'm 21... There's nothing there. You experience so much. You're not innocence anymore. It's distorted. It's left behind. Some kind of speculatory research, the fluxation of revelation. It's seen like in the divinity of mankind. I also try to remember, hey, someday I'm going to be 30, 35. What am I going to look back at this age and saying, wow, this is, I don't know, just a big vicious circle. I was green and I colored it to ripe. And that's exactly what it's about. It's about growing old. It's about experiencing lots of things. It's about innocence being diluted by experience. It's about life.
know that for sure. And I'm gonna get you. Come on, come on. Come on, boy. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Okay, Charlie, let's go then. Come on, come on.
Yeah, you want to go with me? We're doing the same exact thing again. Come on, come on. Come on. Chicken, chicken. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
See ya.
There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. She went out in her car one day, and her children went too. If her car catches fire, she'd know what to do. Stop. Put on the brake. Take the key from the dash. Get away from the car, in case there's a flash. The old lady knows just what to do. Do you? There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. One day she went out, and her children went too. Every building she enters, she looks about, so in case of a fire, she'll know the safest way out. She locates all the exits and remembers this rule. If someone shouts, "Fire!" Don't panic. Keep cool. When it came to finding a way out, the old lady knew just what to do. Do you?
Yeah, but we heard it from the
It's a good idea to hear it.
Want to hear it from the tape.
Oh, this is what the mix.
This is what it's going
It
to
should
sound
sound
like.
identical. It sounds tighter, actually. Cassette. Sound
Looking back now that you were getting old, feeling low, life's got colder. Yeah, got colder. A little while, then a little bit older. Got exactly what they told you. Yeah, what they told you. But I never give up. Never give up. But I never give up. Never give up. But I never give up. Never give up. But I never give up. Got a wife and kids and lots of bills, oh yeah, it feels like life's standing still. Got lots to do, but only time to kill, life just starts to lose its thrill. Another day, okay, another dollar, back to the job. Got no white dollar, never be walking into the parlor. The white starts pitching, the kids begin to holler. But I never give up. No, I never give up. No, never give up. But I never give up. No, never give up. But I never give up. Money, money, Lord, say can't be this money small. Turn off the alarm, please. Up to it all. I said, but I never give up. Never give up. But I never give up. Never give up. No, I never give up. Never give up. But I never give up.
My trip to Iowa.
See anything interesting?
Corn?
In Iowa, there were many things. Fields and animals, and there are also lots of fields, animals, lots of fields and horses. Fields. Oh, there were fields, lots of fields in Iowa. In our car trips, where every day we saw plenty of fields. Now we're on our way to Uncle Bob's. He allowed me to use his gun to shoot dinner. There's Cousin Clem. He's grabbing a juicy goosey. Now we're going to Grandpa Gustav's.
John didn't catch any, but he did catch a nice bass.
He fried delicious catfish,
Yeah, I should've
which
brought it
we
in
caught that very afternoon.
Look at all that good fish.
It was all so delicious. It was most fun when Aunt Wilda took us all to the carnival. I've been to carnivals before, but this one was fun. We met all types of people at the carnival. There were lots and lots of rides that go around and up and down. I didn't feel too good after a lot of them, but I met a lot of people.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I get a hot dog, please?
Sure can. You aren't taking pictures, are you?
No, that's all. Okay.
Hi, I'm Brenda from Midwest Concessions. May I help you?
No.
After that, I didn't feel like getting back into the car, but we met lots more people, like this band. Met so many interesting and fun people on my trip to Iowa. I had lots and lots of fun. We had a good time singing lots of songs.
You gotta take about a 10-minute break. 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 You gotta take about a 10-minute break.
There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. Today is Uncle Jim's birthday, and she knows what to do. She's bought him a gift the children admire.
It's a home smoke detector.
To protect him from fire. So rushing right over, they tippy-toe in and give him his present. When choosing the right gift, the old lady knew just what to do.
Do you?
Vince, have you lost your head?
That's what I'm trying to avoid, my friend.
But Vince, if we don't belly up to the bullseye, how else can we prove that safety belts save lives?
Oh, it ain't working, Larry. Nobody's listening.
Sure they are. Look at them. They're buckled up.
Hey.
Them too.
So maybe eating all these dashboard hors d'oeuvres is worth it.
For sure.
Hey, let's head back.
Hey, buddy, I didn't know you knew how to drive.
Drive? Drive? Whoa!
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
The Meadowlands Showcase Presents is a show featuring upcoming artists, including musicians, directors, and writers. If you'd like more information, just write us at this address.
Hey, that's a nice dog you got there.
Yeah, right. We're kind of working on a type of music. We're trying to mix some of the 50s type sounds along with the new wave type type. Maybe we're gonna try to mix some metal in there. Guitar player right now. Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna experiment with that type of sound. You know, those 4 different types of sounds, and see what we come up with. We might come up with something totally different or something that sounds like everybody else's stuff. The society kind of tries to gear you towards a way that they want you to live. But what he's trying to say in this song is that you should, like, live your life your own way. You should do things your own way. If you don't like doing something, then don't do it. It's as simple as that,
People say I'm crazy for hanging out with. And people say I'm lazy and good for nothing too. They say go to school, find yourself a job, go out and make some money, don't be a slob. But I don't care what they say, I wanna live my life my own way, own way. I don't care what they say, I wanna live my life my own way, own way. My mom says I'm never make my bed. My dad thinks I got drugs in my head. He says go to work, quit the band. So don't look at me for a helping hand. But I don't care what they say, I wanna live my life my own way, own way. But I don't care what they say, I wanna live my life my own way, own The priest looks at me with a grin. He says, come on, boy, tell me your sin. He said, go to school, join the church. If I don't make money, don't be a jerk. But I don't care what they say, I wanna live my life my own way, own way. I don't care what they say, I wanna live my life my own way, own
Pick up that phone, boy.
Pick it up.
Have some turkey, boy.
No turkey allowed.
Please, have some food.
Food? Toast. Some appropriate music would be nice. Some appropriate music would be nice.
Look at him eat his toast like a good boy. Boy?
A penny saved is a penny earned, boy.
Hello, this is Hermic Hamlick. This is a new video from Rousing New Brand for Vero. I'm going to show you a very good video called Got the Best of Me. And it goes little bit, well, just a little bit like this. So here we go with Vero.
No. Every single song.
Guys, you know,
Every single song that we do is a participation from everybody in the band. No matter what song we have, that song would not sound the way it does
if one of the members wasn't in there.
Yep.
Here. America. If he comes down with an idea, or him, or me, or him, or Gene. Gene comes up with great ideas sometimes. I'm telling you, he does. Okay? But whoever does, go on.
Whose
baby.
particular idea was it for this song? Anyone? Who came up with the idea?
Well, the lyrics, I came up, well, no, Mark actually came up with the best of me.
My Uncle
I wrote
Ernie.
the lyrics.
Uncle Ernie.
Yeah,
And then we
Uncle Ernie.
handed it down to us.
Yeah.
Well, this is a song you came up with a while ago, right? And then we just like reworked it.
We worked it as a band.
So renovated it.
Here it is. This song is a tribute to Uncle Ernie.
Yeah, Uncle Ernie.
Looking back, I see happiness. I never thought that it would come to this. Your love to me seems so sincere, but now you've gone and left me stranded here. And now I'm out of my mind, and I'm running out of time. Got the best of me, and I don't know which way to turn. You got the best of me, I feel my heart just slowly burning away. Tried so hard to let it pass me by, but times my feelings make me break down and cry. I'll never know just why it disappeared. I'll never be the same without you here. And now I'm out of my mind, and I'm running out of time. Got the best of me, and I don't know which way to turn. You got the best of me, I feel my heart just slowly burning away. Got the best of me, and I don't think I'll find another. Got the best of me, got it, baby, got it, baby. Got the best of me, and I don't know which way to turn. Got the best of me, I feel my heart just slowly burning away. Yeah, got the best of me, and I don't think I'll find another. Got the best of me, got it, baby, got it, baby, got it, baby.
Thank you for joining us on Meadowlands Showcase Presents. We'll see you next month.
Thanks for joining us this time. Thanks for joining us this time on the Meadowlands Showcase Presents. Or, thank you for joining us on the Meadowlands Showcase. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time on the Meadowlands Showcase Presents.
Thank you for joining us, and see you next time on Meadowlands Cables Presents. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time on Meadowlands Showcase Presents.
All right. I'm depressed.
Now you're depressed. Great. Dragging me down.
Now what?
Just notifications from my banks that my account balance is low.
Well, that's
wife
bad.
bought the kids stuff at CVS and probably bought $100